All right, he was there. We're joined by our reporter Mzwandile Mbeje following the State Capture Commission. Mzwa, so things could get stranger. The Commission's own secretary implicated. How did that play out? So that was in the pre-documents that the Commission saw and knew that he was going to mention the secretary.
Remember the witness before they could deliver their evidence, so they finished the Commission with their affidavits. So it's clear that in that affidavit, Mr. Agrizzi then mentioned one of the employees of the Commission, actually not even the employee, the secretary of the Commission. So, and I think the judge felt that, well, having read what was in that affidavit, he couldn't just keep quiet to only wait for the witness, because I'm sure it has something to do with the credibility of the Commission. And then when we returned from the break, from lunch break, and then they finished us with a statement from the chairperson of the Commission, Judge Zondo, to say there are these issues that have been raised about the secretary, that he also received the bribes as alleged by Mr. Agrizzi, and then he says he called him to find out what this was, but he says he denied it, but it was felt that this was so serious and the further investigations will be done, and then in the meantime, so Dr. De Wee will take leave.
Just out of interest, do you think while he was writing his statement, Agrizzi knew that the man he was mentioning would be the secretary? I wonder if he knows. We don't know that.
We're not sure, because remember, Bosasa has a number of contracts with government departments, particularly the Justice Department. And then Dr. De Wee, at some point, was a senior official at the Justice Department. So that is why I think he was able to mention him by name, to say he is one of those who got the bribes. But of course, we'll wait for the thorough investigation to really determine if this indeed did happen.
Okay, so earlier we spoke about Dudu Myeni being named, today Khladi Motsoeneng, in how damaging a light?
I mean, you'd remember, I think the issue of Mr. Motsoeneng, so I think did appear sometime last year when he was battling his legal issues, and then there were reports that he had got funding from Bosasa, but I mean, no one had confirmed that. So it was interesting today to hear that indeed some of the bills were settled through Bosasa, and given what Bosasa has been doing to a number of people, so obviously it will raise an even bigger interest. Was that the only money that he got, and what was the nature of the relationship of him and Bosasa?
It's not necessarily corrupt, but it points to what else was...
what sort of
perhaps other influenced by issues
they were having. I mean, because, I mean, if you listened to Mr. Agrizzi, I mean, you would even suspect a lawful contract, because the kind of things that he's saying. I mean, it's possible. There are many entities, I would guess, that actually got contracts in the right way. But given what we now know and what we've been told, I mean, in his own words, he said almost all contracts that were awarded to Bosasa were tainted with corruption. So you can imagine. Yeah,
so we've spoken about the fact that senior ANC officials may be having sleepless nights. He's going to name many names, not many thus far, but the North West coming up.
Yes, it's actually quite interesting how it's coming up. I mean, Bosasa had a youth center, and then at some point the North West government pumped in money into that youth center. But then, when it was the electioneering time, the ANC Northwest then came to come and source money. And then Bosasa used that youth center to take the money and give it to the ANC Northwest. And of course, he was talking about a particular MEC, but he could not name the name of that MEC. So you can see that, I mean, for the first time, they directly, Mr. Agrizzi directly named the ANC, though you felt it was difficult for him to name him until the judge really said, so were there other political parties, which party?
Why is he holding holding back on naming names. That's what the country wants.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's the weight of the issues really that are being raised. I mean, if you see him walk into that commission, remember his life is under threat. Remember yesterday proceedings had to be adjourned because of the security issues. Obviously, there are things that we can't show to the media at the request of the commission because of the life that is being threatened. I mean, when he walks in there, he's got a serious security guard around him. So you can see that these kinds of issues that he's raising and the people he may implicate as well may put his life further under danger.
Well, let's talk about that because there was that adjournment around security. Agrizzi had said he had seen somebody milling around that he recognized. He was very worried about that. Do you see signs of tightened security, extra protection for him right now?
Absolutely. I mean, if you walked inside those premises, there were quite a number of police cars. So you could see that they are taking the issue of security seriously. And I think the judge also stressed this to say he doesn't want anyone who goes to the commission and feels unprotected. And that's why they have taken the issue of security quite seriously, and it's been increased. And even when they checked with Mr. Agrizzi, so you could see that the kind of measures that they've put in place are quite satisfactory for him.
All right, Mzwambeje, and no doubt you'll be following the Zondo Commission for us next week. Thank you for that update.